My brothers and sisters in Christ, in today's first reading, we hear one of the more famous scenes of Paul in the New Testament, standing in Athens, in that center of Greek learning and ancient culture. Of course, we know not just of Greek civilization, but of the tradition of the philosophers out of Greece as a place of enlightenment, of learning. And Paul stands before these people and proclaims Christ crucified to them. But what's fascinating about this, and we hear at the end, some scoff at him while others want to listen or hear more. But Paul addresses, he first goes and looks and learns about the people. And he talks about seeing the statue to an unknown God. And what Paul does is he tries to speak to the desires, to what's the subtext at work in people. Because at face value, he is a Christian preaching a different religion to people who think they're very wise and of themselves. So there's an inherent conflict. And yet Paul recognizes something that's just as true today as it was then, which is the human person in the image and likeness of God is created for communion, is created for love, and is created for union, for connection with God. Therefore, whether we acknowledge or not, even the person who proclaims to be atheist still has the same instinct. The way that they acknowledge or don't, the way they respond to it may differ, and that's true for anyone. That's part of the fallen nature of sin, and yet the human capacity is still made for worship of God. And therefore, all people worship something or someone. Even the atheist worships something or someone. Even in their rejection of God, of the existence of God, there is something they are putting up in its place. And we see this today, the idols that the world creates. The vacuum is always filled. If God is pushed out, another takes its place. In a sense, there is no human existence where the divine just ceases to be there. If man strikes down God as divine, then man will exalt himself or something else into the place because it's part of our nature. And therefore, this encounter speaks first of all to the wisdom of Paul. He's trying to convert by first seeing what's at work in the people he's talking to, recognizing in a sense where is that godly instinct present, even if misguided, in these people. So he speaks to them in a way that's less threatening, less antagonistic. But second of all, it's important for us to recognize in us that statue, that idol to an unknown God. What are the ways in which our soul is not fully converted? The places where we have not given our whole heart and worship to God, where we've not given our whole self over. What other idol do we put in place? Because one way or another we will acquiesce, we will worship, but we may unwittingly worship at the shrine of an unknown God, at least unknown to us, as opposed to the one true God to whom we owe all of our life and love. And so may we examine our hearts so that we may love as we have been loved, and that we may drop to our knees in adoration and give the entirety of ourselves to God, our loving Father. May God bless you all.